And we're back here from Edberg Olson Hall. Zach Gelb and Ray Boyd here with you for WHIP, Philly's #1 college radio station. It is the Cherry and White game on this April 20th, 2013. And now joining us is a familiar face of this program, the all-time leading scorer. Yes, he did pass Bernard Pierce in that Army Stadium. I remember that game, Brandon. And after the game, you remember that media room that we were in? It was like 2 feet wide. It was a mess that day. But it was a fun day for you.
Yeah, it was. Thank you, Zach, for having me on WHIP radio today. Give me a chance to come back and watch my Temple players who I played with for 4 years, excel here on the field.
Is that a little bit weird for you coming back here and you're not on the field, you're not playing? This university meant a lot to you. Is that a little bit weird, though, not being on the field today?
It is a little bit weird, but, I'm excited that, I had a great 4 years here, and I'm excited for my opportunity here in about a week, hopefully at the NFL draft. And, I love Temple University. I'm glad I came here, and I definitely think I spent my best 4 years of my life here so far.
Well, this is a new era for this football team. Steve Addazio is no longer the head coach. He goes up to Boston College, and now it's Matt Rule. You played under Matt Rule before. What does he bring to Temple University?
See him and Coach Golden, I saw what they were trying to do here at Temple University. I totally understood, as a family man, as a as a coach and everything, I truly fell in love with both the university and, the way his philosophy was. And I think as a coach here, he's such a family-oriented guy. He's a high-energy guy, and I think he's going to bring, a very a credential and accountable team here at Temple.
Now, Brandon, one thing we talked about with everybody we interviewed so far was the level of commitment you see from Coach Rule. Every time we talk to him, it really seems like he wants to be at Temple, and it's important to him, and he's committed to this university. From a player standpoint, how important is it to have a coach that at the end of the day, it's really committed to the program?
As other people, I guess, would see Temple almost as a stepping stone. They win here at Temple, then they'll have a chance to get to the next level at a higher division. But when Matt Rule came here as an assistant when I was here, you saw how much he loved Temple. His wife Julie works here. His son Bryant, is a ball boy here now. He loves this university. So I think stability here with Matt Rule is definitely going to be for the long term. I don't think it's just for the short term. Sorry. And I think he loves Temple so much. I think he's going to be here and keep the winning tradition. Hopefully in the new American Athletic Conference.
That was one big thing when Bill Bradshaw hired him. It was stability, because you had Golden. He went off. He did great things here, but then he went to Miami. You brought Addazio in here. He only stuck around for 2 years. And Matt Rule, you could tell he really wants to be here. And as just looking at these players today, they're doing touchdown dances. They're having fun. And when I see them behind the scenes, this just looks like a confident group. And as a former player, that has to be fun to watch.
It does. Every time I've had a couple of workouts here with NFL teams, and I'm here waiting for the practice to end, and I get excited just staying on the sideline, seeing how happy, and, they're playing music the whole time during practice. They're dancing, they're celebrating that any type of somebody, has a big hit, a big-time run, big-time catch. They're celebrating. With Coach Addazio, it was more of not an uptight type practice, but, it was so focused, and a lot of people, almost got scared because of that, because they didn't want to mess up. With Coach Rule, if you mess up, he's gonna get in on you a little bit, but he's always excited about the opportunity of you coming back and making a good play for the team.
Brandon McManus joins us here at the Cherry and White game. Edberg Olson Hall, Zach Gelb and Ray Boyd here with you for WHIP, Philly's #1 college radio station. And this team, they lost a lot of seniors. You're going off. You're going to be doing great things. Martin Wallace is as well. You lose Matt Brown, who was a big-time part of this team last year. Who are some of the leaders on this team this year as they get ready for the 2013 campaign?
We had some great seniors, that left us, but I think they have a great team here to come back. I think Cody Booth, even though he changed positions from tight end to offensive line, I think he is really a staple player here on this team. I thought as a tight end he was going to be one of the best players in the Big East. He's not very strong, but he plays straight out of his heart and his mind. He's an absolutely great player. But now that he moved to offensive line, I think he really is going to help our run game and protect Connor Riley, or whoever the quarterback will be for the season. As well, I think Jalen Fitzpatrick on the outside, I think he's a great receiver, slot receiver. He can almost make anybody miss in the open field.
Brandon, we had a chance to talk to Bill Bradshaw a little bit, and he talked about the transformation that this program has gone through. And you got to play here your entire career and, went from obviously playing in the MAC to moving into the Big East. And next season, this team is opening up against a team that just played in a national championship. Can you talk about where Temple has come in the last few years and where you could see it going in the future?
Yeah, I know. I talked to Bill Bradshaw. I wish that I redshirted my freshman year. That way I could, that way I could kick, in front of touchdown Jesus. But I never would have expected, even me coming in as a freshman, thinking that they'd be where they are now, and playing Notre Dame I think it's on NBC Sports at 3:30, on national television. I don't think you could even ask for anything like that from Temple back then, but. I think we've came a long way from the transformation from the MAC, even though I don't think we never won a MAC championship, but I think, we proved ourselves in the division and proved ourselves against out-of-conference opponents where we're able to move into Big East. And now, now we're playing Notre Dame opening the season. Hopefully with this new American Athletic Conference, they'll be able to see Temple is a football school, not as well as a basketball school.
Brandon McManus joins us right here. And Brandon, you were a big part of this team last year. You put up a lot of points on that scoreboard, and there was a lot of times where you had big-time kicks, whether it was UConn or Florida. How did they replace you this year as you're no longer a part of this program?
We have some two guys that have been on the team, Colby Perry and Tyler Mays, who I tried helping as my understudies, try and bring them along. I think the punter, Paul Lane, is going to be great. He came in, transferred from Albany. I think he might be, as I saw the Big East last year in the new Athletic American Conference, I think he has a chance to, be back-to-back for both Temple as a first-team All-Big East punter or American Athletic Conference punter. He's that good. And we got Jim Cooper coming in as a freshman, and I think
he impresses you a lot. I know that
he does. He came in as a summer camp, and I watched him. I knew that he was going to be the next heir throne here as a kicker at Temple. But we have a good walk-on coming behind him. Nick Visco, I think from Archbishop Wood, will be good as well. So it's going to put pressure and competition on the kicking position, which is always good because you don't want anybody complacent out here, and that way that you keep the distance and accuracy and everything up in the kicking department.
Now, Brandon, we called a lot of the games, obviously, this past season and the last two seasons, and we would always talk about the player of the game, and you always impressed us. Your two-way ability to punt and kick always impressed us as broadcasters. Can you talk a little bit about just what goes into doing both, to punting and kicking, the preparation that you have to go through to be able to carry both responsibilities?
It's two totally different arts. Kicking, you're swinging, you're coming across your body, you're trying to put points on the board, whereas punting, you're trying to change the field position, and so you're coming up straight up through your body, trying to kill the punt, and you got to get hang time, you got everything because you got dangerous returners here in these new conferences, but. I really went into. I think I got lucky, to be honest with you. My 2 years here, I never thought I did as well as I did punting. I think me focusing on kicking so much took my pressure away for punting. When I stood back there as a punter, I was more excited. I'm looking at the field a completely different, opposite way than I was for kicking. I'm looking. I got a returner back there. Maybe I'll get a chance to make a tackle or something. So I was excited about that. Being on the field for a different type of reason, whereas putting points on the board.
There's been an abundance of players who have come into Temple. They've gone here for 4 years, they've graduated, and they've gone off to the NFL, and they've had success. You just saw your buddy Bernard Pierce. He's won a Super Bowl. Steve Maneri standing over there to my left. He's now playing with the Chicago Bears. You get ready for the NFL draft. Describe that process for me.
It's definitely been a grueling process, but I enjoyed it. As you said, I've been kicking and punting for the past 2 seasons, so it's kind of put a toll on my leg. But most teams have focused just on kicking for me, which I'm excited about. That's what I think I can excel at the next level at. And I've been putting in work kicking about 3 to 4 days a week, and I've had about 17 workouts so far with the NFL teams. I've been excited. Just got done my last one on Friday with the Indianapolis Colts, and it went great. Hopefully, whether it comes to them or any other team in the NFL, hopefully whether I'm drafted or undrafted free agent, I think once I get into camp, I'm gonna show them, I'm a true kicker and I'm something special, and I think they're keep me on the roster.
What's been the feel so far from the teams that you've gotten? I know you interviewed with the Patriots, you've interviewed with the Jets. When you talk to these teams, when they look at Brandon McManus on film and then also on the field, what do you think they look at?
I'll give you a list of the teams. I worked out for the Miami Dolphins, the Patriots, the New York Jets, the Giants, the Eagles, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Indianapolis Colts. So I've had a great fortune here to work out for great organizations. But based off the feel I'm getting, I'm thinking maybe it's going to be the Giants or the Colts, but they say on draft day you never know what it's going to be like. Whether you're drafted or not, it could be a team that you never called from. I just got a call from the Arizona Cardinals from Bruce Arians' organization. So I'm excited whatever team that takes me or picks me up. I'm going to go into camp, and show them what I can do, and I think they're going to be impressed.
In terms of draft day, Brandon, do you have kind of a goal in your mind? Is there somewhere you'd like to see your name called in particular? What's the feel going into that day in and of itself, or that couple of day process, I'll say?
Well, I would love to see my name come across the board, on television. I got drafted, but it's funny. The two teams who I said I feel like that I'm getting the most interest from is the New York Giants and the Indianapolis Colts. They've had the last two picks of the draft. So if I'm the Colts have Mr. Irrelevant, whether it's me going down a parade in Disney World or not, which I would love, but I'm excited for what's happening. I'm going to be at home. I think I'm going to play a round of golf in the morning. Keep my mind off everything. So I'm excited for what's going to happen in the draft, whether it's Friday, Saturday, wherever they take me. I'm excited for what's going to happen.
Well, it is windy up here, and I know if you were kicking on the field today, you wouldn't like it so much, so we'll let you run. Thanks so much for coming on with us today.
Thanks, Zach. Appreciate you having me on the show today.
There we go. Brandon McManus, the all-time leading scorer in Temple University football. We'll take a quick break. When we get back, we'll do a little bit more talk with Steve Maneri as he'll join us next. Philly's #1 college radio station, WHIP.